What's up, YouTube? You folks? So, I saw, Gavin Newsom the other day, yesterday, whatever it was, just whining and crying like a little baby, you know, um, shifting blame, on the mayor and local officials. It's just like that's what these guys do. These liberals. It's just like shit doesn't go their way. It's like deflect. It's his fault. It's his fault. They never take any ownership of anything. And we got to go back to when Trump was president, and basically Trump told him, you got to clean this up. And they had private conversations about the cleaning up and deforesting and all that other good stuff. And obviously, he didn't listen. The number one priority of the governor is the safety and welfare of his citizens. So if that means you're having meetings with the mayor of everybody within your state, well, then that's what you should do. Or somebody, a representative. Hey, what do you need? What's going on? Blah blah blah. How can we help you? Especially a city as big as LA. It's just astronomical. For him to say, well, I just didn't know. Well, you're not involved. And your people are involved. And so if you have a staff, because one guy can't know everything, so you got to have a staff of people. So you have a staff meeting, right? And you say, hey, what's going on down here? He's been in California for a long time. These winds happen, blah, blah, blah. What's going on with our water supply? Do we have, if we had a catastrophic fire, are we prepared for that? If we're not, how long is it going to be? How long is it going to be down? How long is it going to take for us to replenish? There's just it's not rocket science. It's just not, You could manage a state like you manage your own house. If you're married and you have children, your wife is your eyes and ears. In some cases, when obviously when you're not home, and you work together with your family and everybody, you just kind of you watch how you spend your money. Certain things you can do, certain things you can't do, and I just don't see why it's so freaking hard for these people to put their foot down and say, okay, this is what we're doing, okay, and or to even appeal to other people in your peer group. What are you guys doing over here? What are you guys doing in Washington? What do you guys do even in Europe? Maybe that's a case where you jump on a plane and you go to Europe and see how they handle. What sort of equipment do they use to take care of their forest issues, their dry timber, dry brush, so that you could more effectively get in there. That's not time consuming or manpower consuming, cost prohibitive. How do you take care of this? And it's not like California doesn't go through this. The severity of this, when you look at the satellites, images, you can tell it was done on purpose. You had fires exploding almost at the same time. That just doesn't happen. Nature is freaky, but it ain't that freaky, and so there's a lot of shit going on. I'm inclined to think that it was done intentionally, and same thing with State Farm and other insurance agencies. To my understanding, I think it was mentioned by a famous actor, James Woods, that his insurance agent, I believe it was Farm Bureau, canceled him. And he'd been with them for years, is my understanding. Maybe I misunderstood, but he'd been there for years. So, how can an insurance company just, if you've been paying in for years, no issues, no problems, all of a sudden say, well, we're pulling it. And then, son of a bitch, there's a fire. All your shit's wiped out. Well, we're not rebuilding. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, It shouldn't make sense to you guys either. So something went on it's not a natural disaster. This was man-made. Incompetence of the city mayor, Bass. She should be fired. I think it's Bass or dumbass. She should be fired immediately. And so should Gavin Newsom. And then all three of those lesbian women there that one made the comment, well, my number one priority is diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, we got to have a lot more homosexuals and lesbians, you know, in the fire department because, you know, we represent the city. You know, your sexual orientation has nothing to do with being able to rescue or put out a fire. You know, and if that's your prerequisite, you know, for hiring personnel, you're the wrong person for the job. You know, it just sickens me. I don't know. It's just it just blows my mind. You know, a Michigan governor. I mean, she's just as dumb and inept as Gavin Newsom, and it's just deplorable. Anyway, so please like and subscribe. It's a beautiful day today, even though it's snowing. I am certainly blessed to be 6 feet above the ground today. I hope you are too. If you're not, you know, drop me a comment and we can talk about that because I mean, there is a lot to be grateful for, thankful for, and I know I'm certainly grateful and thankful for some of the things I have. And even the small things, man. I mean, it's just, you know, the little things add up to big things, right? So anyway, so like and subscribe, please. Doesn't cost you a dime. Just, you know, click it with a mouse, you know, or with your finger on your touch screen, touchpad, however you view these YouTube channels. But it helped me out a lot. You know, I really would appreciate it. And I'm really not big into editing. I think if you're going to have a conversation, you just have it, you know, and if you get tongue-tied or tongue-twisted, so what, you know, you have that when you're sitting down at the coffee shop, you know, and you misspeak, you know, that's, you know, I see a lot of editing on some of these YouTube channels where it's just like, man, the lighting's got to be perfect, you know, their vernacular has to be perfect, blah, 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 you know, that's just not the real world, right, you know, so... this is just, I want this to just be like, you know, you and I are having a conversation. You're sitting across from me from the coffee table, and I just have to be the one doing all the talking. And but you could like and subscribe, and then you could talk and comment as well, you know, in the comment section. So so I appreciate it. You know, appreciate you tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next video. We're at 8 minutes, so have a good one.